I dreamt that I was with a bunch of people. I said, we gotta hurry up and dig out the gold. We gotta dig out the gold. And there was a bunch of gold in there, but there was this urgency to get to the gold out of there before the enemy came.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
You were in that dream.
But so there's
So I have to pray for that aspect because I'm focusing on deliverance and everything, but I don't know that that part also is deliverance. Yeah, because if the ministry has enough money also, it will help a lot, trust me. And it's not only this group, the whole group. There's a lady, when I did the prophecy of the new year, one by one, on the WhatsApp group, there's a lady, I called her, I said, oh, I see, when I was praying for her, I said, I see you in Morocco. Do you have any connection? She said, no, I don't have any connection in Morocco. I said, okay, I see you in Morocco, and then we ask you raw material, like raw material, to provide raw material. And she said, oh, I don't see. I said, we pray. Because every contract we have to fight for for gold, there's a strong man for gold. For oil, for the strong men of God. So if you go in the business of oil, you have to fight the strong men before you go in. If you just go and invest, your money can disappear. Like you just start with that material you say, you have to pray and beat that strong man up and say, me, I'm coming to get money, I'm not coming to lose money, okay? So she said, okay. Then she called me last week, she said, Paulette, they just called me. I'm expecting Morocco, I'm traveling. So when can you pay? You understand? Yes. So she's having a contract, exactly like you are saying. So I know God will raise people who have money to invest in the ministry. Amen. So he asked me to agree before the end, just remind me. Amen. Another testimony. Amen.
Go ahead.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes. I just want to give all the glory, all the praise, all the honor to the Lord God Almighty for my sister in Paris. She just had a baby.
Amen.
And I just want to thank God that she's fine, the baby is fine.
Amen.
The night before she was hospitalized, she has called my mom that she had a dream with a knife or something, one of my aunts in the dream. But she has been having a lot of attacks anyways. And that night, she said she woke up with like a severe pain. So they had to call the ambulance, they took her to the hospital, and then when they checked her, they saw that the blood pressure was very high. So they monitored her for a couple of days, but at the end of the day, they said that they need to do a surgery, they need to bring the baby out for her own safety. So they took the baby out, and the doctor, they have already prepared everything that maybe because she's a preemie, they're gonna intubate the baby, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. But when the baby came out, she came out kicking, she came out crying, she came out breathing on her own, and I just want to give God all the praise, give him all the glory. She's fine, the baby is fine, and I'm just grateful to God.
Amen.
And thank you for Mama Paulette and the group that we are on WhatsApp, because as soon as I sent her a text and I explained to her what was happening, she sent a text to everyone to be praying for her, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you all for your prayers.
Amen. Thank you. Hallelujah. Amen. Julie and then Angela.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I just want to thank God for the healing of my leg. It started close to about a month ago. I woke up and I saw like some growth on my leg. And I didn't take, I saw it and I was just like, this is strange, but people are like, everything is always spiritual with you. It might not be spiritual. I was like, no, this isn't normal. And I prayed on it, I had it anointed, and I felt when it busted, everything would just be okay. But it busted on Friday, Sunday. On Sunday, I was having a little bit of pain. On Monday morning, I couldn't stand up straight. And it's my right leg, my driving leg. So that entire week, I couldn't go to work. Long story short, by the time I did go to the doctor, because it started swelling, the doctor was like, if I want to get your pastor to pray on this, I said, don't worry, I'm already praying on it. So my doctor to tell you that, I'd be like, this is just not making sense. But I give glory to God that despite what the enemy tried, the Lord gave me victory over it. And I know that I have a complete recovery in the name of Jesus. And I also want to thank God for just taking control over my finances, because at work, there has been some issues going on, and then even with the bank, some issues have been going on concerning my finances, but I just thank God for taking control and overcoming the power of the devil and just giving me victory. Praise the Lord. Angela? Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Praise Jesus.
Hallelujah.
I just want to encourage all of us to really, really stay focused during this period of fasting and prayer and reverence, because we really are hitting things. On Thursday, I wasn't able to come for prayer, but I was able to watch. Sister Julie had me connected. So, after the prayers, the last prayers that Reverend Paulette led, I think we hit a number of things. We hit Marine, Labata, we hit a lot of things that night. So I just lay down on my bed to just nap. It wasn't just 5 minutes after I switched off after the prayer session ended. I just lay down and I shut my eyes. Immediately I saw like a flurry of birds. A lot of it just came rushing. I just saw them rushing and they were trying to gather on what looked like a nest. So I got up and I was like, what's this? And I remember the teaching, the lesson was on knowing your spiritual authority. I was like, oh, I know who I am. I got up, I sent the fire, I just dealt with that. After I dealt with that, I saw a serpent. As I closed my eyes, I saw a serpent again. I was like, you too? And I did that prayer.
Amen.
After I did that, my stomach just swelled up.
Wow.
Like I was 4 or 5 months pregnant.
Wow.
And it felt like there was a stone in there. And I was struggling to breathe. I was like, okay. So I just kept praying and I said, you're not going to. So I definitely hit something. You're not going to get me. I just kept praying. But after a while, I was actually struggling to pray. I was struggling to get the words out. I couldn't speak anymore. So I just told my husband, I was gesturing, like, get me my phone. So he brought the phone. I called Reverend Paulette. But I figured she didn't answer because it literally was after the program. So she was probably on her way. So I called Reverend Paulette. She didn't get an answer. And after a while, I started feeling like I was getting delirious. Like I was almost faint. I was having this hazy feeling, struggling to breathe, and my tummy was swelling. And I was like, there was something fighting in there. So I called Reverend Babalola. So when I called him, I was struggling to get words out, and then he started explaining, Angela, I'm so sorry, I couldn't come, I couldn't make the meeting to Maryland and all of that. But even right now as I'm talking to you, I'm even feeling strong myself, and I could hear from his voice that he was feeling strong. So he said, I'll talk to you, let's talk tomorrow. And I was like, Jesus, is this the end? And then I told about my children, and I was like, no. So at some point, all I was saying was, I shall not die, I shall not die, I shall live. And I was just saying, Jesus, I think my husband was together in Jesus' name. We just got anointing oil. I was praying for me and anointing me. But I called Reverend Babalola again, and I told him, I can't breathe, I'm struggling to breathe. And because I felt it was, my husband was like, let's go to the hospital, let me call 911. And I said, this is spiritual. I know what, because he didn't know what I just seen before that happened. I knew it was connected to that. Long story short, Reverend started praying for me. As he started praying for me, I was struggling to throw up. Like as soon as he started praying for me, I wanted to vomit, and I was struggling to vomit. I rushed to the bathroom. I had to run to the bathroom, pass out stool. I was just passing out all kinds of things, and before you know it, I threw up all over, on the door, on the floor, on the carpet, on my clothes, on my house robe. I had trashed a lot of things that we had to trash a lot of things, and by this time I was like completely on the floor, nothing on. Like that's how terrible it was, and I was struggling to call. When I called Reverend Paulette, I called Leslie. I didn't know if my sister, I wanted to call my sister-in-law, but my husband already called his sister. I figured somehow they would, know what's going on, to pray. Anyway, Reverend put a prophetic blessing on me and said, Father, no, the prophet doesn't lose a child. So I'm not going to lose this child.
Amen.
And it was after he prayed that I threw up everything. So it was the next day, I was supposed to start a fast Friday. So the next day I talked to Reverend Paulette and I told her this is what happened. This is what happened. And I know, when we spoke with, we had that teleconference with Reverend, he told me, the Lord has shown you the source of this attack twice. You know the source. So I said, yeah. And you all prayed for me that night. Reverend said, there are lots of witches to kill. So I'm also using this as a forum to join me in killing witches. They are not going to get me, I know that. They can only try and scare and try. But I was telling Leslie that actually that Thursday in the afternoon, the song the Lord gave me, right, when I slept early in the morning when I woke up, the song I was hearing, I've never actually listened to this song, Heaven on Earth by Michael Stampley, and I know he's one of God's prophetic ministers, I know that. So, but I in my dream, I saw him singing that song. So when I woke up that Thursday morning, I felt very good, and I went and I looked for the song and I played it, and I had it playing. So when all this crisis was going on, I was singing that song, and I kept saying I would experience heaven on earth, and it is glory, and I will not die.
Glory.
So when in that afternoon on Thursday, I should have. I was like a foreboding. I actually saw 3 fairies, but they were dark. Very dark. You know what fairies are? It's so-called magical creatures. Yeah, that Thursday was the first time I knew that it's not a joke actually. These things exist, but on their other side. There were 3 of them, and they were very dark, but they were wearing red spotted things. So I remember that every time my son used to say, that's a ladybug, and I was like, where? So when I saw that in my sleep, I woke up and something just said, that is what Andrew was seeing. That's what I heard in my spirit, that's what this boy was seeing. And we know the source, we know where this is coming from, and by God's grace, they're defeated. But I just want to share that testimony to the glory of God, and let us, we're hitting things